Hello, Gregory! So this video's gonna be crazy, but let's do this. So you asked last week, why are bullets, ammunition, measured in millimeters in the States? So let's get into it. Yeah, I'm not editing this, so there's gonna be a lot of weirdness, and I just kind of drew that up, or whatever. So let's go ahead and start. The easy answer, which is, the probably the best way to start, is we don't really. um, Most of the makers of ammunition or firearms in the States are actually measured with caliber, which is actually a fraction or a decimal point of inches. So the 30 caliber is actually 0.30 um, of an inch, 0.03 of an inch, 31 hundredths of an inch. Um, Most of the uh, ammunition or weapons made for firearms made using metrics are made in the Europe or Russia, places like that. Now there's some crossover. It's very random from company to company. So some companies in the States use metrics, some companies in Europe or outside of the US use the imperial system, which is what the caliber is based on, obviously. And of course, in the US, we have to make things more complicated with our measurements, hence the imperial system still being in use. So we have a whole separate system of measurement, which is caliber, but it's still based on the imperial system. Um, that's pretty much the answer. Again, this can vary from company to company. So some companies will have um, a gun that can fire different measurements of ammunition, and that's just because a lot of the sizes are so close in both caliber and in metrics that they can fire both. Um, I was gonna do like some history on ammunition, but it was a little bit more in depth than I really wanted to go. So, the guns started out with just powder and balls, basically, just stuff it in there. But then it moved on to paper wrapped bullets, basically paper cartridges. So they would have a paper cartridge with the gunpowder and then either a bullet or a ball, and that would be loaded in. And of course, we created better cartridges as time went on, and then we had the center pin fire cartridges, which is basically what we use today. So yeah, that's pretty much the answer. We use both technically, but for the most part, we use caliber. In the U.S., manufacturers again, we can buy any caliber, millimeter, or whatever measurement we want in the States. But in other countries, it's probably way more limited than it is in the U.S. Um, so let's move on to my question for you, since it's that time. So I was thinking about biology the other day because we are studying that right now, and my question was, I guess I should start with some background, huh? So we talk a lot about in DNA and genes, basically. We talk about dominant and recessive genes, and how dominant genes, if they show up in your DNA, then those are going to be the traits that will actually show through. But what actually makes a dominant gene dominant? What makes it dominant over a recessive gene? What makes it be the trait that shows? That's my question. Well, Greg, I will see you later.